Good day, everyone. Zusile here, Customer Success Manager at Double GDP, and this is the CSM Sprint updates of March the 3rd, 2021. So in terms of my updates, this past 2 weeks for the AIR program, the main highlight has been that we have aligned with Chena and Nkwashi on the value measurement of the AIR program. The challenge has been to sort out accommodations for the newcomers as AIR 3 starts in April. The output of this sprint have been Instagram and Facebook content, as well now one more sculpture done, bringing it to a total of 6 sculptures. My objective for next sprint is to conclude finally on the housing options for the new artists, but also to set an actual target number for value measurement. So for instance, artists are to inspire X amount of future Nkwashi residents. Now, looking at the Hackers in Residence program, I have some great news. We have recruited our very first Hackers in Residence, and we now have a total of 7 hackers in the pipeline, including 5 who may be eligible for the next cohort, and 1 who is eligible to start in March as well. So the challenges of this sprint has been how selective the microverse program is, as not all candidates have passed the trial. The housing options, of course, have also been a challenge. The output of this sprint have been an Instagram campaign targeting the women software developers and enthusiasts in Zambia. And my objective for next sprint is to purchase all of the equipment necessary for cohort 1, as well as to have the 2 hackers move into Nkwashi. We are aiming at March 15, but this may or may not be delayed based on housing stock. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Mutale, and I will be sharing my screen now. Okay, so obviously I'll begin with the voice of the client as usual. So the first question that we got here was, can you also update my plottation as well as payments to date within the app? Currently, there's no information available. So this is people reacting to them seeing plot information and also payment feature on their accounts. So everyone is like wondering why that information is not being updated on their accounts. But right now, the only people who are kind of updating along the way is the people on the Project Panther / leasing product, but they have been advised that this will be added as soon as possible and they'll be communicated to. The second question we got was, this is very interesting. This gentleman commented on the build to lease scheme article that was recently launched on the Nkwashi app. And obviously people are always kind of curious whenever a new product is launched by Nkwashi. So obviously this person was referred to the right person to kind of respond back to them. Coming to our customer support and operations, we recently concluded a training with the Nkwashi sales consultants just to kind of give them a refresher course on how to use the Nkwashi app and also to train the new sales consultants on the Nkwashi app and how they can better serve their clients. Also met up with Evans, who was a potential Hackers in Residence candidate, to help him settle into a conducive learning environment. We secured an office space for him just so he could solely focus on him doing his work for qualifying for the microverse candidacy. So this went, it had a few speed bumps here and there, but we persevered and he made it through. We're also continuing to work with the collections department to facilitate the usage of the payment feature and also still collecting feedback and suggestions as they use this. Also, I got some recent good feedback from Poniso on how he can better streamline his work process at site, and this was shared with the product manager as well. For sprint, highlights of our sprint was training of the sales consultants and also collecting feedback from using the payment feature, obviously meeting with Evans and seeing the food work and what they have to offer as well. And then challenges was the HR housing, which was not approved by China due to the distance from the main air houses. So this was a bit of a hurdle. And also objectives on this sprint is basically to carry on the proposal that was made to the relationship manager at Nkwashi about clients and sales consultants possibly moving into prefab housing at site. So looking forward to seeing how this will go. Thank you so much for listening to my sprint update. I'll forward it on to Penny now.
Thank you. All right, so my name is Penny, CS part of the CS team at Double GDP, and my updates for the past sprint. Some highlights were that we conducted the training with the Nkwashi sales consultants, some new, some old, needing a refresher, and just starting all over again from scratch. We also made some progress on the prefabs, which I'll mention a bit on the outputs. And Atlas Mara homes, we got some feedback on that. These homes will be used for the residency program, and the feedback was that we're a bit off schedule because we're supposed to by now have handed the house over to the winners, but there was some glitches there. So some of the outputs of the sprint, Ufudu went to view the site for the prefabs, and they actually like the place where we're supposed to set up. And so that place needs to be cleared. Foundations need to be done from our end so that those prefabs can be brought on site. And also the client feedback calls that we've been doing, we actually got through a large number of the clients, the contacts that we have on our client list. Goals for upcoming sprint: finalize on materials that are needed for the foundation for the prefabs, and also ensure that the prefabs are delivered to site on time. Continue the client feedback calls that we've been having, and also reworking the format a little bit. Work with Zusi to finalize the setup of the HIR participants equipment. And finally, work with Nkwashi on producing some marketing collateral for the rewards program that Doreen will mention a little bit about. And that's my update for this sprint. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Penny. I will share my screen and pick up on the Head of Customer Success update for this sprint. My name is Doreen Okiri, Head of Customer Success at Double GDP. We're working with a team to support our customers to ensure that they're able to connect with residents, accelerate growth, and deliver responsive public services. So in the last sprint, it was quite a very interesting one, firstly because of meeting our population goal for February. We were planning to have 15 residents in the month of February, and we had identified 3 artists that would build up this number. We, however, did not meet this goal within February due to the housing stock shortages and challenges that my colleagues have highlighted. However, we have been able to have the 3 artists move in this week after making adjustments to their needs. We shall continue working on this to ensure that we do not have to have this issue again. The second bit is the floor plan purchase rewards program, which I'd also highlighted in the last sprint. We've made some progress, especially with Nkwashi. And we also made a significant contribution to the form's use case on our product, the Nkwashi app product, that we shall be working with engineering and the product teams to ensure that it's delivered. Thirdly, we worked on adoption milestones, but we started off with a meeting with the Thebe CEO to reaffirm goals and start the process of KPI alignment. And I'll speak a bit more around what you shall be doing in the next steps. And then finally, we worked a bit on increasing the housing stock through leasing. As has been highlighted by my colleagues, we have identified 3 additional houses that are under construction, one of which we're expecting in the month of March, and the other 2 we're expecting in the month of June. And this should help us ease the housing stock requirements that we have. So just a quick look at the construction pipeline data update. As you may notice, the first 4 columns, there have been, first 3 columns, there have been some marginal improvement. The 4th column that we previously referred to as construction approved, now referred to as building permit approved, is still static. And construction in progress, we expect to see some change this month. However, construction in progress and completed are static as well. As I had highlighted, we did not meet the number for the residents in the month of February, but we did do that this week, and therefore we have met our target for 15 residents for this period. So coming into the goals for this sprint, initially what we're looking to do is to ensure that we increase the residents for both the February and March goal, and by addressing the needs for the air program and also ensuring that we have the hackers moving, the ones that have been identified. And we still do have a deficit to our target for 18 residents in March, and we shall be working on this to ensure that we meet this target. For the floor plan purchase rewards program, as had been highlighted by my colleague Penny, there is the marketing aspect of it. However, we shall also be working on the terms and conditions that will guide the program, and will come into a launch for the program that will run for 60 days within from the month of March. Then in terms of the adoption milestones, the realignment that we shall be doing with the heads of departments at TEBE will be to ensure that with the changes of the business processes and the business priorities, considering the changes that the pandemic brought for us in 2020, we shall be realigning the KPIs to ensure that we are responsive to their needs and ensure that the product can also step up in terms of those gaps and also within our programs. And then finally, there'll be an aggressive move to increase the housing stock, both from the leasing options and the prefabs, as also has been highlighted. And thank you so much for your time. That's a customer success update for this sprint.